Welcome to Hollywood Secrets Information. In today's video, we're uncovering the heartbreaking stories of 15 legendary British TV stars who once made millions laugh, entertained entire generations, and became household names, only to face financial hardship, loneliness, or be largely forgotten by the time they passed away. Fame can disappear far more quickly than anyone expects, and behind the bright lights of television were lives marked by personal struggles, poor financial decisions, illness, and changing times. Stay with us until the end as we reveal the emotional journeys of these unforgettable British entertainment icons and the lessons their lives continue to teach us. 1. Hughie Green. Hughie Green was one of Britain's biggest television personalities during the 1950s and 1960s. As the charismatic host of the hugely popular talent show Opportunity Knocks, he helped launch the careers of many aspiring entertainers and became one of the most recognizable faces on British television. Audiences admired his confidence, quick wit, and ability to connect with ordinary people. However, as television changed and newer presenters took over, Green's career gradually faded. His later years were overshadowed by declining income, legal disputes, and personal challenges that drained much of his wealth. Although he remained proud of his achievements, he spent his final years far from the glamorous spotlight he once enjoyed. When he died in 1997 at the age of 77, many younger viewers barely remembered the man who had once dominated British television. 2. Dick Emery. Dick Emery became one of Britain's greatest comedy stars thanks to The Dick Emery Show. Famous for portraying a wide range of hilarious characters, he entertained millions every week with his unforgettable catchphrases and remarkable talent for transforming into completely different personalities. During the peak of his career, Emery enjoyed enormous popularity and financial success. Unfortunately, changing tastes in television, declining health, and the end of his major shows reduced his opportunities to perform. He later struggled with depression and health complications, which limited his public appearances even further. By the time of his death in 1983 at age 67, the comedian who had once been a television giant was living a much quieter life, remembered mainly by loyal fans who cherished his groundbreaking comedy. 3. Diana Dors. Known as Britain's answer to Marilyn Monroe, Diana Dors became one of the country's biggest glamour icons. She appeared in numerous films and television productions while attracting constant media attention for her striking beauty and glamorous lifestyle. Although she earned substantial sums during her career, lavish spending, expensive relationships, and financial difficulties gradually reduced her fortune. Behind her glamorous public image were serious health issues and personal struggles that few people fully understood. In her final years, she continued working whenever possible to support herself despite battling illness. Diana Dors died in 1984 from cancer at just 52 years old. While her legacy as a British screen legend remains secure, her financial circumstances near the end of her life reflected how quickly fame and fortune can disappear. 4. Bella Emberg. Bella Emberg became a familiar face on British television through her memorable comedy performances alongside stars such as Benny Hill and Ronnie Barker. Her distinctive appearance, warm personality, and excellent comic timing made her a favorite among audiences. Despite decades of steady work, supporting actors often earned far less than leading stars, and Bella never accumulated great wealth. As television evolved, acting opportunities became increasingly limited, making financial security more difficult to maintain. She continued accepting roles whenever possible because acting remained her greatest passion. Bella Emberg passed away in 2015 at the age of 80 after a long illness. Although she was admired by fellow performers, many younger viewers had little knowledge of the actress who had contributed so much to classic British comedy. 5. Richard Beckinsale. Richard Beckinsale captured Britain's heart through beloved sitcoms such as Porridge and Rising Damp. His natural charm, warmth, and relatable performances made him one of television's brightest stars during the 1970s. He appeared destined for an even greater career, with many expecting him to become one of Britain's biggest actors. Sadly, tragedy struck when he suffered a fatal heart attack in 1979 at only 31 years old. His sudden death shocked the entertainment industry and left behind a young family. Because his career ended so early, he never had the opportunity to build the long-term financial security enjoyed by many veteran actors. Today, Richard Beckinsale is remembered not only for his remarkable talent, but also for the incredible career that was cut heartbreakingly short. 6. Jack Hargreaves. Jack Hargreaves became one of Britain's most respected television presenters through programs celebrating the countryside, rural traditions, and outdoor life. His calm storytelling and genuine love of nature earned him devoted viewers across the country. Unlike many television celebrities, Hargreaves never sought a luxurious celebrity lifestyle. He preferred a simpler existence and focused on sharing his knowledge rather than chasing fame. As television changed, his traditional style attracted fewer opportunities, and he gradually disappeared from mainstream broadcasting. Although he remained respected by countryside enthusiasts, his later years were far removed from national television fame. Jack Hargreaves died in 1994 at age 81, leaving behind a legacy built on authenticity rather than wealth or celebrity status. 7. Wilfrid Brambell. Wilfrid Brambell became internationally famous as Albert Steptoe in the classic sitcom Steptoe and Son. His portrayal of the grumpy, old rag-and-bone man remains one of British television's greatest comedic performances. Despite enormous success, Brambell struggled with personal difficulties, declining health, and financial challenges during his later years. As new generations embraced different styles of entertainment, offers for major acting roles became increasingly rare. His final years were marked by illness and reduced public attention, a sharp contrast to the fame he once enjoyed. Wilfrid Brambell passed away in 1985 at the age of 72. Although his work continues to influence British comedy, his later life serves as a reminder that even television legends can face difficult times after the spotlight fades. 8. Sid James. Sid James was one of Britain's most beloved comedy stars, best remembered for the hugely successful Carry On films and the sitcom Bless This House. His unmistakable laugh, cheeky personality, and effortless comic timing made him a household name throughout the United Kingdom. Despite decades of success, actors of his era often earned far less than modern television stars, and long-term financial security was never guaranteed. James continued performing well into his later years because he genuinely loved entertaining audiences. In 1976, tragedy struck when he suffered a heart attack while performing live on stage. He was 62 years old. Although his performances continue to delight new generations, his final years reflected the uncertain financial reality faced by many entertainers of his time. 9. John Le Mesurier. John Le Mesurier became one of Britain's finest character actors through unforgettable performances in television classics, especially Dad's Army. Known for his calm voice, understated humor, and remarkable versatility, he appeared in hundreds of productions throughout his career. Although he worked constantly, he rarely received the enormous salaries enjoyed by leading stars. Personal setbacks, changing television trends, and health problems affected both his career and finances in later life. Even so, he remained dedicated to acting until the very end. John Le Mesurier passed away in 1983 at the age of 71 after suffering a stomach hemorrhage. Today, he is remembered as one of Britain's greatest supporting actors whose quiet brilliance often deserved even greater recognition. 10. Tommy Cooper. Tommy Cooper was one of Britain's most iconic comedians and magicians, famous for performing hilarious tricks that appeared to go wonderfully wrong. Wearing his trademark red fez, he entertained millions with his unique blend of comedy and illusion. Despite earning fame across Britain, years of demanding performances, health issues, and personal difficulties placed enormous pressure on his later life. In one of television's most unforgettable moments, Cooper collapsed during a live performance in 1984. At first, many viewers believed it was part of the act, but he had suffered a fatal heart attack. He was 63 years old. His legacy remains enormous, yet his later years remind us that laughter on stage can sometimes hide struggles behind the scenes. 11. Charlie Drake. Charlie Drake delighted audiences with his energetic slapstick comedy and childlike charm for more than 4 decades. Standing just 5 feet tall, he transformed his small stature into one of British television's greatest strengths, creating unforgettable comedy that appealed to viewers of all ages. Although he experienced tremendous popularity during the 1950s and 1960s, changing entertainment tastes gradually reduced his television opportunities. As work became less frequent, maintaining financial stability became increasingly difficult. Drake continued making appearances whenever possible because entertaining people remained his greatest passion. He died in 2006 at the age of 81. While his name may not be as familiar to younger audiences today, his influence on British television comedy remains significant. 12. Freddy Starr. Freddy Starr rose to fame during the 1970s and 1980s as one of Britain's most unpredictable comedians. His wild stage performances, celebrity impressions, and larger-than-life personality made him a television favorite. However, his career was repeatedly affected by controversy, legal investigations, and negative publicity, even though he was ultimately cleared of criminal charges. The damage to his public image made it difficult to rebuild his career, and his finances suffered considerably. In his later years, Starr lived a much quieter life, far removed from his days as a headline performer. He passed away in 2019 at the age of 76. His story remains one of the most dramatic examples of how quickly fame and fortune can disappear. 13. Michael Elphick. Michael Elphick earned widespread respect through powerful performances in television dramas such as Boone. His natural acting ability and commanding screen presence made him one of Britain's most admired dramatic actors. Despite professional success, he faced personal struggles, including alcohol dependency, which affected both his health and career opportunities. As his health declined, acting work became less consistent, making financial security increasingly difficult to maintain. Nevertheless, Elphick continued performing whenever possible because acting was central to his life. He died in 2002 at the age of 55 after suffering a heart attack. His performances continue to receive praise, but his personal struggles remind us that even celebrated actors can face difficult battles away from the cameras. 14. Tony Hancock. Tony Hancock is widely regarded as one of the greatest comedians in British entertainment history. Through Hancock's Half Hour, he revolutionized television comedy with intelligent writing, unforgettable characters, and brilliantly observed humor. At the height of his fame, he enjoyed tremendous success, but personal problems, depression, alcohol dependency, and professional disagreements gradually overshadowed his career. As public tastes changed, his popularity declined, leaving him increasingly isolated. In 1968, while living in Australia, Hancock tragically died by suicide at the age of 44. His death shocked fans around the world. Although his influence on British comedy remains extraordinary, his life stands as a heartbreaking reminder that fame cannot always protect someone from personal despair. 15. Terry Thomas. Terry Thomas became internationally famous for portraying charming upper-class gentlemen with his unmistakable gap-toothed smile, elegant mustache, and hilarious delivery. He starred in numerous successful British and Hollywood films, becoming one of the most recognizable comedy actors of his generation. Sadly, his later years were overshadowed by Parkinson's disease, which prevented him from continuing to work. Medical expenses steadily consumed his savings, and his financial situation became so difficult that fellow actors organized fundraising efforts to help support him. Terry Thomas died in 1990 at the age of 78. His final years demonstrated how even internationally celebrated stars can experience financial hardship when illness ends a successful career. The stories of these 15 British television legends remind us that fame, fortune, and applause can be temporary, but true talent leaves a lasting legacy. Although many of these stars faced financial struggles, illness, or were gradually forgotten by the public, their unforgettable performances continue to entertain audiences around the world. Their contributions helped shape the golden age of British television, ensuring they will never truly be forgotten. Thank you for watching Hollywood Secrets Information. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories about Hollywood and television legends, forgotten stars, and the hidden truths behind the entertainment industry. Until next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.